Hi, welcome to Happier Ladies. We're sisters who discuss all things related to work, family, and personal growth.
We draw inspiration from everywhere, especially from you, our listeners, to keep moving forward with joy and laughter and the big adventure that is life.
1 week at a time.
I'm Azizi Williams. I live and work in the LA area. I'm a mom of 2, soon to be an empty nester, and I'm an education professional in the independent school world. I'm here with my sister, Malika Amandi.
That's me. I'm a SoCal native living in Western Massachusetts, a newish mom, and I work in higher ed. In this episode, we recap the Happier with Gretchen Rubin podcast and Happier in Hollywood with Liz Craft and Sarah Fain podcast.
But first, Malika, I have to tell you about something that happened this week.
Okay, tell me.
So I have been collecting CDs. This has become sort of a new hobby of mine. When I'm at the thrift stores or garage sales, I'll look for the CDs and I actually listen to them and I enjoy them. And they are old. They're music from the 90s, from the 80s, sometimes from the 60s, like old. They're not new. These are CDs that people have given away, don't want anymore. But I enjoy it. And Sinai was going away on a camping trip. She left on Monday. She's back now. But in preparation for her trip, as she was packing, she was like, "Mom, is it okay if I take some of your CDs with me on the trip?" And I was like, yes. Like, they're not allowed to have phones, which this is amazing to take teenagers into the wild with no devices for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days. It's amazing that they get that opportunity. But on the van rides, they have long rides there. They have to get creative. They listen to the radio, they listen to CDs. And so she told her friends that she could bring some CDs. So I just felt like the coolest doll in the world. And I was like, "Do you want my suggestion?" She's like, "No, I'm just going to grab a bunch and, let my friends decide." I was like, "Okay."
What did she take?
Don't even know. That's a good question, Malika. I should find out. I should ask her what she ended up taking, but it was a cool mom moment.
Did she like them?
Well, okay. So here's the thing. When she got back, when I picked her up from the camping trip, of course, that was one of the first things I asked. I was like, "How are the CDs?" Everybody say like, "Wow, your mom's so cool." And she was like, "Actually, we didn't end up listening to them. The CD player didn't work in the van." Like,
Oh,
oh man.
wow.
But you know what? Doesn't matter because she brought them. She knew they were there. And because I have this quirky hobby, they were available to her and I still felt cool.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, you are cool.
Oh, thank you. But it's different when your teenage daughter does that. It means something from you too, but it's just a little different,
Okay. I can buy that.
That's all. Malika, what happened on Happier in Hollywood?
On Happier in Hollywood, episode 406, Liz and Sarah discuss the futility of stewing. Sarah shares a printing hack, and Liz recommends White Lotus. In episode 407, they discuss the anxiety that comes with recording video. All right, so I had a lot of things bubbling up when they were talking about this issue of stewing. And basically, they had a situation where somebody they had interacted with professionally thought they had offended Sarah and Liz somehow and was like obsessing over this on their own for months and finally reached out and had been really going through the ringer. And they were like, "Oh, that was nothing." They weren't offended. It was fine. But it got them thinking about, why don't we just reach out when these things happen? Like, why are we obsessing about things on our own when you can just clear the air often? And it made a lot of things fire for me because that's some of the coaching work that I was doing in my coaching business was around helping people navigate conflict and how to speak up in those moments when you feel like somebody has said something, or just how to really own your communication. And I think one strategy that I just want to share that has been really helpful for me, I didn't come up with this. This is from one of my mentors, but it's called The Problem is the Solution. So I think one reason a lot of times we don't follow up on these types of issues is because it feels like too much time has passed, or the project is over now, so it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. Or maybe this person is like in a more senior position than I am. And so there's a weird power dynamic. There's so many reasons that we can come up with, and a lot of them are valid about why it's not a good idea to clear the air or check in. And this strategy is called the problem is the solution. And you basically just state whatever the problem is, the reason why you can't reach out, and that becomes the reason you're reaching out. So it's
Mm.
like, it's been 3 months since this project ended. There's no way I can contact this person. So the way you contact them is by saying, "Hi, I know it's been 3 months since we worked together, and I'm still thinking about this issue." Or, "It's been 3 months since we worked together, so I feel awkward about reaching out now, but I'm still thinking about this, so I wanted to just bring it up."
Hmm.
Like, immediately, it diffuses it because it says that you know that there's been this time lapse or whatever the thing is. You're not oblivious, and yet the thing was still pressing enough for you to bring it up. So it actually kinda shows your thoughtfulness in deciding to reach out.
Hmm. You name it. It's a reframe. The thing that makes it feel impossible or too challenging, you lean into that, and that's the thing that you could actually use to get through the problem.
Exactly. So
Wow.
it could be like, "Oh, it was a one-off thing, we're not gonna work together again." So it's like, "Hey, I know we just had this one interaction, we're not gonna be working together again, but I still wanted to reach out because I've been thinking about it."
Hmm.
It's a very kind of elegant, simple solution that I think works a lot of the time.
It makes me think of a Jedi mind trick, you know? It's like, just say the thing in reverse and then
Yeah,
undo the problem. That's
the
very
problem is the solution.
yeah. I sometimes think about actually Anne Lamott in the book somehow, there was a situation where she made a mistake and she would just say, "Oh, well." Like her stance was, "Oh, well." Just sometimes you just have to say, "Oh, well." Like
Yeah,
there's sometimes you can't go back to the person or you're not going to really know if they were offended or not, but people make mistakes and you just sometimes say, "Oh, well."
yeah,
I like the problem is the solution approach also. It's a good tool to have in your toolkit.
definitely a good tool. Sarah also talked about printing
Mhm.
and ways to save paper when printing by just reducing the size and using less paper for something. But that made me think of your small printer, Azizi, that you got yourself for Christmas.
I did. I got it for myself for Christmas and it's this teeny tiny little printer. It's so cute. Like it's purple and
How small? Give
uh,
me a reference point.
like a deck of cards, smaller than your phone, but it's a little thicker. It's not quite a cube, but it's like a square purple plastic thing.
Okay.
And it's got some rolls of paper that are like heat sensitive, and this device has like two buttons on it. And so you use Bluetooth, and there's an app, and you connect the phone to your little printer, and then you can print out photos. This one is black and white. So you print out photos in black and white. They come out like a receipt, and you just tear it off. And then I just use washi tape and I put it in my journal. So, like, over winter break, there were some things that I just wanted to remember, some really special moments, and I had taken pictures of them. I printed out a few of them and just taped it into my journal. It just makes me so happy. So, this is not a printer that you have to wrestle with like the printers for documents and things like that. It's a cool device that nobody needs. Let's just be real. No one needs it. I should have started with that. It is a lot of fun, and it is very small.
Do you ever print text?
You can. I was playing around with it. You could use it to label things if you wanted to, or
Huh.
you could use it to like make gift tags, but the kind that I got, it's not sticky on the back. I think there are some that print as stickers, and
Ooh,
that's another
yes.
level, and maybe I sort of thought that was what it was going to be, but it's not. So I have to tape it down, and it's like the same texture as a receipt. It's really thin. But yeah, maybe the ones with stickers are a little better. I just wanted to try it out because it seemed like a clever little tool, and it kind of is.
I'm actually interested in that, especially if there's a color one.
Right, yeah. I spent not a lot of money. I think I spent like
Yeah.
$14, like, really not a lot of money for this. I'm sure there are some with color and there are some that are stickers. It's like a label maker. Remember the label makers?
Yeah,
But those were just text. And so this one is the photo.
that's cool.
Yeah. Thanks for asking.
That makes you a cool mom.
Wow, I'm just racking up cool mom points everywhere. Well, in episode 406, Liz gave the recommendation of White Lotus, the new season. The third season is coming out, and I'm just hearing about it everywhere. So much enthusiasm for it. And I am much like Gretchen, where I tend to wait until like 10 years after the phenomenon to jump on. But this is making me want to check it out. What do you think, Malika? Should I check it out?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you have to come to your own conclusions, especially as a questioner.
Right. That's true. Always.
See for yourself. I really like the show. And also, I think halfway through season 2, it became a little bit too intense for me, just the storylines. And so I had to tap out. But it's a great show. It's well written, it's well acted, it's compelling, it's entertaining. It has it all.
I kind of want to watch it for the fashion and the setting.
Oh,
It
okay.
seems like a show that's like picturesque and
Absolutely.
beautiful clothes and fashion and things like that.
I mean, they've talked about this on T-Boy, our other podcast that we listen to. Like, tourism has followed these locations where the show is filmed. Like,
Right.
after the series comes out, even in anticipation of it, tourism in that region spikes. And it's like the White Lotus effect.
Influencing people.
It really makes an impression on you, the scenery.
Are people sad on the show?
Well, is easy in life sometimes. People are sad. What kind of question is
I mean,
that?
is it mostly sad people? Like, are the people like mostly sad?
It's a mixture, I'll say. It's
Okay.
complicated. That's such an interesting way to think about a show. Are the people sad?
Yeah, it's a litmus for me.
It is a showcase of humanity.
Okay. Well, I could also just watch like the 2 first episodes of each season and like
That's true.
get a sense of it without committing, but we'll see. It's going on my media list for 2025.
Good.
Malika, I had a discovery recently that shows you I'm not going to say I'm lazy. I'm just going to say there's a lot of things I want to do and not enough time to do them.
Yes.
But this could, okay, I'll just tell you. So I signed up for the Substack that Liz and Sarah are hosting for Happier in Hollywood. They are putting out a lot of content. There's a lot of commenting. And in particular, I was interested in the on writing Slow Read by Stephen King. And writing is something that I want to be able to do better. It's something that I want to build confidence in. I thought this could be a good way to do it. And then I had the realization that I am not going to read this book. I can't read this book. I don't have the time to read this book. But it turns out I don't think I have to enjoy the slow read debrief. I think I can just watch the videos and there's a certain amount of learning that I will absorb just by listening to them talk about the book. Am I clever or is this
I
a
don't know.
terrible
It's
idea?
easy. I mean, I think yes, if you're getting something just from watching them recap the book, great. That's real knowledge you're getting. And also, I feel like the spirit of the slow read is to read the book,
Right?
even very slowly. So, do you have the book?
No. And it's already too late. It's
What
like
do you
they're
mean?
3 weeks in. It's already too late. I'm not gonna catch this train. The train has already
I
left.
don't
It's
know.
left very slowly, but it has left.
Very
It's a
slowly.
slow-moving train, but I'm slower than the slow-moving train, so I'm not gonna catch it. But I think I can just watch it, and look, if it was an actual book club, I would prepare. If I was gonna participate, I'd prepare. But I actually don't have to contribute anything to this book club. I'm
That's
just
true.
listening to their work. They've done the work, and I think I can benefit from them just doing the work. I'm like the worst participant in your group project ever.
Well, I don't know. I think that's fine. There are plenty of books I feel like I'm never going to read because Norm has read them and told me about them.
Right?
And I feel like that's good enough.
Yes.
But I feel like this is one you might want to just purchase to have on the
Yeah.
shelf. Maybe you don't read it now, but if you're really interested in writing, it sounds like a good reference book. Maybe put it on your giftful or something.
Okay. Giftful, that's gonna be the thing that I do this week. And also, if it's possible, so I like this idea of just having the book, and then when I'm listening to them, I could like thumb to the parts that they're talking about,
Yes,
and
yes.
then I can read it as I listen to them talk
I
about
feel
it.
better about this, yes.
Okay, that's kind of a hybrid. I think I can manage that. I think I can manage that, but I'll report back. I mean, it's a great service they're providing, so I appreciate it.
And it's gotten you interested in the book that you might not have read otherwise or even
Absolutely.
purchased.
It absolutely has.
That's funny. All right, well, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about Happier. Azizi, how's your dinner game these days?
Well, Malika, I used to struggle with what to cook for dinner.
You're cooking now?
Okay. Actually, my husband used to struggle with what to make for dinner. I mean, meal planning, grocery lists, yuck. But then we found Prep Dish. It's a weekly meal planning service that tells you exactly what to cook. And now they've partnered with Instacart, so your grocery list becomes a ready-to-go online cart.
Oh, what's in your cart, Azizi?
All of the Prep Dish ingredients, plus I can add energy drinks, chili crisp, lipstick, whatever, and check out in just a few clicks. Shopping online is so fun. The meals are family friendly, healthy, and super easy to prep. Dinner is easy to make, and now we look forward to new tasty meals.
Prep Dish is offering our listeners 2 weeks free. Just head to prepdish.com/happierladies to sign up. Again, that's prepdish.com/happierladies.
How do you top your love for your cat? With a cascade of decadent savory gravy over a mouth-watering mousse pate. Fancy Feast gems. 2 gourmet pâtés in one convenient pack. Simply peel and plate to reveal a pyramid shape that makes eating delightful and pamper her with an experience as extraordinary as she is. Turn the everyday into the extraordinary with Fancy Feast gems.
All right, we are back. Azizi, what happened on Happier recently?
In episode 522, Liz and Gretchen celebrated their 10th anniversary by discussing memorable moments over the last decade. In episode 523, Gretchen announced her new book on the secrets of adulthood, and they shared the reading hack of reading magazines. So, Malika, what were we like in 2015? This is a
10 years ago.
good time to just reflect back on the last decade. What was the vibe for you in 2015?
Oh, what was the vibe? I was living in Silver Lake, newly on my own again after living with mommy and daddy for a couple years. I was very much in my artist, actor era. I was doing teaching artist work in elementary schools.
Oh, I remember that.
And then I was also doing a lot of theater, and I was dabbling in storytelling / one-woman show type stuff. Shout out to Joanna Middleton, a friend who created this network called Girly Stories that just kind of encouraged a group of women to write their stories every week and share them. And we actually had some performances. So that was very much a part of my world. I had a cat named Luna who looks a lot like Kermit, honestly.
She does.
I kind of think they might be connected.
Oh, we have to do a side by side. I'll have to figure out
Yes.
how to do that on Instagram.
I feel like we did once, but we
Did
could do
we?
another one.
Okay, yeah,
They're connected.
that's true.
And then I was really excited about Bitmojis. Those little,
Ah,
I think that was new then, like the avatar thing that you
yeah,
could text. And mine really looked like me.
okay. That's like a little brag. We'll put that up on Instagram also.
I was looking through my photos and I had several screenshots of the Bitmoji, and I was like, wow. I mean, it made enough of an impression on me to take a picture. So,
Wow. I feel like I could never get mine to look like me. I
yeah.
just don't look enough like a Bitmoji, so it's close, but not quite.
They changed their designs because it doesn't look like me anymore. But in
Ah,
the beginning, it really did.
interesting. That was fun.
Yeah, it was very much like single woman living the life in LA.
Yeah,
What about you?
I remember that. You were busy.
I was
I didn't see
busy.
you very much. Even though you were in LA, I probably see you
I
more now
know.
than I did back then.
I had like 4 or 5 jobs, so
Yeah, you were busy.
what was your 2015?
My 2015, I was very much like in the single mom life. I had like a emerging teenager and elementary school student, my 2 daughters. And it was fun. We were starting to have more adventures together. They were old
Hmm.
enough and independent enough, and we could do things, we could go places together. And that was really nice, that period of time. We got our first family pet, Snuggles, a cat that we adopted because my older daughter in particular, was obsessed with animals, obsessed. And we lived in an apartment that did not allow pets. But after a while, I just broke down and was like, well, little cat's going to be okay.
Just broke the rules.
It's a cat. The questioner in me. Not hurting anybody, and it was fine, and it was fantastic. They loved Snuggles, so I felt good about breaking that rule.
And Snuggles is now mommy and daddy's cat.
Yeah, that's a funny story for another time. That Snuggles ended up being my parents' cat, but started off as our first pet. And I had my first summer in New York at Teachers College Columbia for my graduate program. And it was, Malika, here's the thing. It was the first time I was on my own ever in my
Wow.
life. It was the first time I had ever lived alone, because
Wow.
before that I had been with my parents and my family, roommates, and then my husband, and then my children. And then
Interesting.
it was 2-month program, intensive over the summer. And it was really bizarre. I lived in Hoboken. It was like lost in translation a little bit. Like there's a lot of silence and long pauses, but it
Mhm.
was very formative for me. And I have a picture of a completed puzzle, Malika. It's from Oxnard, from the beach, November 27th. So it's proof of completed puzzle from one of our very first Thanksgiving family trips. I have no
Wow.
recollection of it, but I do have a photo, so I know it's been done before.
And you're confident that we put the puzzle together?
Who else would have, why would I have a picture of somebody else's completed puzzle on my phone? It had to be us. I mean, I don't have shots of us in process, which, I should definitely do next
Hmm,
time, but I should put that side by side with the last puzzle we completed, which was
that's
the
funny.
fire truck puzzle. But yeah, it was a good time. 2015 was a good year. And of course, we also discovered Happier probably around that time, maybe a little bit later, but it
Yeah.
was pretty close to the beginning that we got in.
You got in first, and then you told me about it, I think, like, a year in.
I kind of feel like it was the other way around.
No.
Okay. Okay. I just remember us listening to it driving from the camping trip in Julian, like the family camping trip that we were
Mm,
in, and just totally geeking out over it. Yeah, it was almost that many years ago. Good times.
good times.
In episode 520, they talked about, I think it was a listener who shared that in lieu of birthday gifts, she invited people to make a playlist for her.
Mm.
I think she invited her kids to make a playlist for her based on what they thought she would like and things that they were listening to. And I thought this is a really cool idea. I love music, love listening to music, and I might enjoy listening to different playlists from people who are thinking about me when they make it.
I think that's fun. I think it's especially, like, the way you do a playlist on Spotify or something, if people can just add to it, then everybody could listen to it and think about you.
Oh, that's true. Just like have one shared list that everybody contributes songs to.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so fun. Maybe I'll do that for my birthday month. But I also want real gifts.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Nobody get an idea that this is in lieu of actual
Alright.
gifts. This is an addition to, I think. This would be like instead of the card, you could
Okay.
contribute a song or two to this playlist. That would be cool. I might try that.
That's funny. So they also talked about magazines, and I think a listener wrote in that she was reading magazines for her Read 25 and 25 challenge,
Right.
and it just spawned this whole conversations about how great magazines are. And we grew up with a lot of magazines around the house. I think both of us have gravitated towards magazines for a long time.
When I heard this, I was so excited. I was like, "Oh, they're talking about magazines," because I realized magazines are my sport. I love magazines, and it
Mm,
makes me excited to buy them, to read them, to think about them later, or there's something about magazines, and maybe it is that we grew up with it, and mommy always had fashion magazines and catalogs and different interest magazines that part of the fabric of our childhood.
yeah. Are you subscribed to any magazines now?
I have digital subscriptions.
Okay.
So I am subscribed to like Real Simple and Cosmo. That's my little guilty pleasure.
Oh,
And I'll
okay.
tell you something, the UK Cosmo digital subscription is like $2 an issue for some reason. It's insanely cheap. And then let's see, what else do I have?
You subscribe through Zenio?
Exactly. Zenio is the app that I
Okay.
use. I don't like the Apple newsstand. To me, it feels a little clunkier, especially because I want to download them or I want them to be available when I don't have internet, like for planes or travel. But I have enjoyed Libby. They have magazines and they have magazines that aren't available on Zenio. I found that the collection has gotten a little smaller on Zenio, but Libby's also a great place to drop in on a digital magazine. What about you, Malika? Are you subscribed to any magazines?
I'm not. There's a couple that I follow on Libby also. Magnolia,
Right.
the Pioneer Woman. I kind of tend to only look at them now when I'm traveling, though.
Hmm.
I kind of forget about them. But I will say at the library, they have all these spin-offs of highlights. Do you remember highlights?
Oh, I used to love highlights.
Me too.
Finding the hidden pictures. Oh my goodness.
It's the same company as highlights, but they're like for younger readers. So there's one called Hello and one called Baby Bug and one called
Mm,
Cricket. And they're like perfect for indigo. It's like a quarter of a magazine size.
hmm.
And the pages are a little different. They're thicker.
Hmm.
But it's just that idea of like, there's a poem here, there's a picture here, there's an activity. And so we call them magazines. And Indigo really likes them.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, a new emerging magazine fan.
So we check them out. I'm kind of like, should I subscribe to this? I don't know.
Yes.
Like $7 an issue. But then we're just going to have, I'm wary of like just stuff, you know?
They're so
It's
small.
kind of fun to check them out and return them.
Oh, I guess that's okay too. But it's different. I
It is
remember
different.
when I think we had a subscription to highlights.
Yeah.
And when I was young, I don't know if you remember this, there was a subscription to early readers. Like I actually got books in the mail for a short
Mm,
period of time. And I love that. Maybe that started my like love of getting things in the mail, but I would say get the subscription, but that's me. I also bought magazines from thrift stores. That's something else that I look
yeah,
for when I'm there. And so you can always donate them too
that's true.
when you're done if you don't want to keep them around too long.
I bet I could find them on like Facebook Marketplace a lot because these are like, there's no news in them. These are
Right,
evergreen.
they're
Like,
right, that's not the
it's
latest in baby talk,
no.
pop culture. Right, that's true.
So it could be fun to have a big stack.
Malika, don't you think Gretchen should have a magazine?
Oh, that would be so fun.
A happier magazine, right? Even quarterly.
Arguably, her newsletter, she's putting out that amount of content, so it would be different to have it in print.
Yeah, I don't read a newsletter, but I would definitely read the magazine. I think it's the visual, and
Yeah,
also she could put her bingo stuff, got all these activities, quizzes. That's just screaming for a magazine.
maybe she'll be inspired by our episode.
Love to see that.
So the other kind of big thing they got into is in anticipation of Gretchen's new book, which is very exciting and I feel like was very under the radar,
Yeah.
Secrets of Adulthood, which I guess is a collection. So it's things that maybe she's written and just kind of pulled together. But a book is a book, That's a huge,
Definitely counts.
yeah. What are some of your secrets of adulthood, Azizi?
I have so many, and they kind of get wrapped up in my personal statements. This was something I started collecting after listening to Gretchen talk about hers, your personal commandments, which are like the secrets of adulthood. So,
Right.
a couple of them, the first one is treat everyone as though you will see them again.
Mm.
Because in my life, so many times, someone who I thought I'd never see again suddenly pops up for some reason. And even if it's casual or if it's because now we have to work together in some capacity, it's just made me realize that I should take care of all of my interactions with people.
Hmm.
To our earlier point,
Yes.
sometimes it's not possible. You're going to make mistakes, but always with the good intentions because you may need that person later or you
Yeah.
may find yourselves together again. And I'll tell you a quick story. My principal, when I was in high school, I had a little bit of animosity towards her, just a little bit. And it kind of felt like,
When you were a high school
when
student.
I was a high school
Got
student,
it.
and especially when I was a senior, there was some angstiness around authority and that kind of thing. And then, I graduated. I had a lovely experience with my high school. Like, overall, it was lovely. But there was just some like, she doesn't know us. She doesn't get us.
Yeah.
Later on as an adult, I'm on a board and now she is working with us, with our board as the expert. And I got to see her in a whole different light and totally respected and appreciated how she led and the depth of knowledge that she had. But it just blew my mind that when I was this girl in high school, I never anticipated that my principal was
Right.
someone that I would be working side by side with, in this other context. And I have so many stories like that. So definitely mind your relationships and your connections and how you treat people. And then my other one is you don't lose, you win or you learn. So this
Hmm.
is a quote. I don't know who said it. I heard it somewhere and I thought this is really helpful for when I feel like I failed or I didn't reach the thing that I wanted to reach. That's always just an opportunity to learn and
Hmm.
to then retool and come back again. So I think about that a lot and I pass that on. We're not losing, we're winning, or we are learning, or you're doing both.
Yeah. Those are great.
What about you?
So there's a couple that came up right away for me around money. One is it's just money,
Oh.
which is like, I think a good thing to remember when you don't have a lot of money or you're when it's a struggle or you're in a season of life where that's the focus. It can feel like something bigger and more powerful. But
Mm,
I think just remembering it's just money has been helpful for me.
mm,
And even like, so I remember, and maybe this was in 2015, I don't remember exactly, but it was my first like really hard taxes year
mhm,
as an actor where I like didn't really know what was going on. And I guess I made some mistakes. I didn't understand withholding, all these things. And I just owed this huge sum of money that really was an amount of money that I like never saw at one time.
mm.
And it was just like devastating. And that was a good mantra then. Like it was a lot of money. It took me a long time to pay it off, but it was just money also.
Yeah.
I think especially when you owe money, when you have loans, student loans
Yes.
or debt,
Yes.
it can really be this psychological thing. And so it's just money has been a good mantra. And then also it's math, not drama, which is like when I've been afraid to like look at my finances or something or see what's there, just remembering that it's just math. Like it doesn't have to be a dramatic situation or emotional situation.
Mm.
It can just be math.
Okay. Taking the sting out of money. These two mantras are to help you like just have some equilibrium and a good reference, good reframing for
Yeah.
the way that money or lack of money can really throw you. I'd say that's a good secret of adulthood, particularly to pass on to young people. I mean, obviously, anybody, we all have money drama
Right.
that we wish was not drama. That does not go away necessarily, or for most of us anyway. But particularly when you're starting out, that's a good attitude to have towards it.
So the other secret of adulthood, came from one of my mentors, is do less more often,
Mm,
which is I mean, I think Gretchen says it in some ways of like kind of the things you do every day matter than the things you do once in a while
mhm.
or the things you do most days. But I feel like it applies to so much, especially in the realm of productivity. And often we can be so ambitious in the amount of things that we want to do. And it's like, actually, if you pick fewer things and just really do them, you might get further or you might have a better experience.
This makes me think about around the holidays, I was so overwhelmed with decorating, with putting up the Christmas decorations, and it just felt like, when is this ever going to get done? I had no weekends free. And then I realized I can just do it in 10-minute chunks first thing in the morning
Mm,
or 15-minute chunks. When I got up in the morning, I did like 10, 15 minutes worth and it worked. Like slowly things happened, but in my mind, I needed a whole day to
right.
accomplish this. And then the same thing with taking them down. Like, okay, if I just commit 10, 15 minutes in the morning over a period of time, I can accomplish it. It's a good reminder.
Yes. So I know we have more secrets of adulthood. That could be maybe a festival in the future.
Ooh, or like a running
Maybe
segment.
when the book comes out. Let us know your secrets of adulthood.
Yes, we're all learning to be adults still.
All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we will share our peaks and valleys.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Okay, we're back with peaks and valleys because in life there are always peaks and valleys. This is an odd episode, so Malika is up with a peak.
All right, so my peak is that Norm and I did a one-night getaway
Ooh.
last night, which was really fun. That's our first one of the year. We hope to do several more, but I'm a little bit under the weather. You might hear it in my voice. So it's kind of like, well, how is this going to go? I definitely didn't want to cancel it. Like, once you get that babysitter, you do it, you follow through.
You do it. Is that a secret of adulthood?
Yes.
When the babysitter's secure, you do it.
But it was just so low key. We were about an hour away at a hotel we had never been to. We really just kind of hung out and like caught up on some shows and had dinner. It was just really nice. It felt luxurious to just spend time and hang out and not even have to go drive anywhere once we got there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely like putting that in the emotional bank, relationship bank. It felt really good to do it.
So you're doing less more often. Does that fall into that category?
Yes, like not a big trip, not an international adventure,
Right.
a very small thing, but maybe we can do that a few times.
Small things add up to big things. They do.
Yeah,
That's nice. I'm happy for you.
thank you. What's your valley?
Okay, so uh, we are who we are under the category of trying to do too much, which is my middle name. I was enticed to go away to a professional development conference that a lot of my colleagues were going to be at. And I had not planned on going to this conference. I had actually planned on not going to this conference. However, my colleague was like, you should come. I have a free room. You can stay with me. And then I was like, should I go? Mind you, it was happening in 2 days. And so I took like a day and a half just really thinking about, could I make this happen? Could I make this happen? I was looking at flights and looking at meetings that maybe I could reschedule and started to tell some of the people I work with and my husband, I might take this trip. And he was like, okay, whatever you want to do. To my husband's credit, he was like, if this is going to be important for you professionally, you're fine with that, you can go. And it was actually over dinner with him the night before I was supposed to leave, where I was like, this is ridiculous. I have so much to do. I
Mm-mm,
cannot take this trip. And why did I drag so many people into spinning
mm-mm.
out with me about if I should do this or not? So just a reminder, it was FOMO that I was grappling with. You
Yep.
can't
Yeah.
participate in everything. I do need to, if I have a plan, stick to it and not try to change plans in the last minute. It ends up being a burden for so many
Mm.
people. And yeah, that's my reminder. Stop trying to do too much.
Well, I think it's a peak that you chose not to go in the end.
It was. I wanted to call you. I called you and you didn't answer. I needed you to tell me, do not consider this, Malika. And then I had to be my own Malika. Like, I had you and my voice. Like, what would Malika do? Malika would say,
It's
don't
funny.
do this trip. And so I was like, you're right, Malika. Even though I had a conversation with you, even though I really didn't. And I
That's funny.
made the right choice. Yes.
Good lessons.
Yeah. Good lessons.
And you learned the lesson before you had to, you know.
I did. And now I know something about myself a little more.
Yeah.
I know, and I've talked about this before, that I am one who will change plans last minute because
Right.
I'm always trying to maximize the happiness or maximize the trip. And to me, sometimes that's like, oh, there's this other thing I could do. But the burden of that is so heavy on everyone. It's not worth it in the end. So stick to the plan.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end. Azizi, let's leave on a happier thought. What are you going to try this week?
I am going to try Giftful. That's a thing we keep talking about. And
I know.
I think it's time to dig in. So I'm going to download that app and see what it's about. What about you, Malika?
I think I'll do the same thing too. I like put things in it in my brain and I reference it, but I actually haven't created an account yet.
So the app in your brain has some gifts that no one else can see or know about.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for listening to this episode. You can find our show notes in the episode description. If you like us, please rate, review, and tell a friend. And don't forget to follow us.
Send us a message at happierladies@gmail.com.
Our show was edited by Magnus Bjorgum, and our theme music was created by Wyatt Muncie.
You can find us on Instagram at happierladies and on the web at happierladies.com. All right, Malika, have a happier week.
Have a happier week, Azizi. Bye.
Bye. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, there's like a sneeze that's like on the horizon. I'm so sorry. But it's like not going to come.
It's fine.
I should probably mute myself. Okay.
This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM, women's voices amplified.